gains that confidence, plays a few good events, stops looking inwards into his own insecurities.
I like the no expectation part, so like that's something that has gotten better because sure, it's like not my full-time job.
It's definitely good for chess in India, and now there is Olympiad also, so there'll be more people following and taking up chess as professional sport.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly concrete still, no? Like, e takes d4, good move. This d takes d4, the d takes d5.
This line was essential and forced, but also not rocket science to map out.
Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Pragyananda. Do you want to use my games to improve your chess? Now you can do. We have handpicked 50 puzzles from my games played in Champions Chess Tour this season.
I went bishop c5, d4 and queen e4. Yeah, another crucial win for the qualifications to top 8.
You can download it for free just by going to chess24.com/puzzlepack. Enjoy solving.
Time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
He played the Berlin, which I sort of expected, but I didn't really know what to do against, because in reality very few people do.
When we are playing an even game against someone of similar strength to us,
Usually we need to give something in order to obtain the initiative.
Just how shrewd and cunning Alireza can be, even with very little time.
I want to show you a game just to prove that I play these lines that I played against former world number 2 and a bit of a superstar, Gatakamsky.
First of all, I think white goes queen f4. Here the move is still queen f5, right?
You are following my games, you will see I play a lot of games.
Finally, guys, so much work for just one pawn. It's so much happiness. Gains that confidence, plays a few good events, stops looking inwards into his own insecurities.
I like the no expectation part, so like that's something that has gotten better because sure, it's like not my full-time job.
It's definitely good for chess in India, and now there is Olympiad also, so there'll be more people following and taking up chess as professional sport.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly concrete still, no? Like, e takes d4, good move. This d takes e4, the d takes e5.
This line was essential and forced, but also not rocket science to map out.
Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Pragyananda. Do you want to use my games to improve your chess? Now you can do. We have handpicked 50 puzzles from my games played in Champions Chess Tour this season.
I went bishop c5, d4 and queen e4. Yeah, another crucial win for the qualifications to top 8.
You can download it for free just by going to chess24.com/puzzlepack. Enjoy solving.
Time to take control of your journey towards chess mastery. Magnus Carlsen introduces Chessable, the definitive solution for studying chess. Move Trainer uses the science of spaced repetition to identify your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses. There's no need to set up a board, remember which page you're on, or keep track of all the moves you miss. Move Trainer empowers you to go from the opening to the end game with confidence. It's a seamless, effective, and fun way to study chess. Choose from one of the largest online chess libraries in the world, with hundreds of titles ranging from classic books through to our exclusive Chessable courses, including over 100 free courses. Get expert insights from International Master John Bartholomew, Grandmaster Sam Shankland, International Master Christoph Sulecki, Grandmaster Simon Williams, World Champion Magnus Carlsen, and hundreds of other instructors. Get started now and join our growing community of over 100,000 chess enthusiasts at chessable.com. Chessable, take control of your journey towards chess mastery.
He played the Berlin, which I sort of expected, but I didn't really know what to do against, because in reality very few people do.
When we are playing an even game against someone of similar strength to us, usually we need to give something in order to obtain the initiative.
Just how shrewd and cunning Alireza can be, even with very little time.
I want to show you a game just to prove that I play these lines that I played against former world #2 and a bit of a superstar, Gatakamsky.
First of all, I think white goes queen f4. Here the move is still queen f5, right?
You are following my games, you will see I play a lot of games.
Finally, guys, so much work for just one pawn. It's so much happiness.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the final four of the Challenger Chess Tour. And I'm extremely happy to be here with the one and only Judit Polgar. How's it going, Judit?
Hi, everything goes well. Yesterday we had a lot of excitement with the semifinals, and I'm happy to be back and see and commentate the finals.
Right. Pranav versus Satwani. Two Indians. One is playing the Continental in Asia. The other one is playing a tournament in St. Louis. And both of them are extremely young and talented, Judith.
Absolutely. It's modern life when youngsters playing two tournaments at the same time. It was not possible in the times when I was a teenager because everything was physically over the board. But now things are changing and there are a lot of online events and opportunities for youngsters. And this is one of them, which is sponsored by Julius Baer. And the reason is because they want to see more and more talented kids, to give opportunities and also to show their talents and to see where they can reach, also helping them with this event. So, and the youngsters, I think they're happy also to take part as they can somehow manage also to play another tournament at the same time. Right. And also, of course, it's a little money, which counts as well. But I think still right now, the players are not thinking about the money prize, but definitely focusing to win this Final Fours and to be the challenger of the last year's champion, Pragnananda, who is already between the top guys since then. So that will be the big celebration for the winner to challenge him in December in Tel Aviv, I believe.
That's right. We'll be there in Tel Aviv having some fun. And remember the format. So they're going to play 4 games. The time control is 5 minutes plus 3 seconds increment on each move. And in case of a tie, they're going to go for Armageddon. And I see already some comments in the chat, in YouTube and in Chess24. So please don't hesitate to ask whatever you want. We're here to answer your questions and to have some fun with you guys. So this should be starting, you did in like 3-4 minutes. So who's your favorite for today? Who's going to win this match? It's going to be Valance. So what do you think?
Well, it seems that Satwani is the favorite because his rating is clearly higher. But Pranav was also very strong yesterday, and you could see that he's very good in blitz. And it was interesting for me to hear him that he plays. He won his second match. Is that correct? Pranav played his.
You mean Pranav?
Sadwani was
Sadwani was
the second match, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and Pranav beat actually Esipenko. So
yes. So that was a very interesting match itself. With Pranav was pretty convincing, and that was great to see that we beating a much better player on paper, right? Esipenko. But of course, blitz is something a different story, and I think both players have a lot of practice in blitz, because we heard also Sadwani when we were talking to him after he won his match that he played like 100 bullet games before
right.
that. And I wanted to discuss this with you, that what do you think about that in modern preparation, somehow those kids, teenagers, for them it's kind of normal to go online and try out some opening preparation in even in bullet chess?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think it's a lot of adrenaline, and I think we are all kind of addicted to the game. So that's why, we play a lot of bullet chess as well. I used to play when I was a kid as well, like 200, 300 games per day. Just want to play. And I think the main thing for me when you play bullet is the adrenaline. It's like, like being in a party or something like this. So,
well, for me, I tell you that when I was a kid, I played like tons and many thousands of blitz games, 5-5, no bonus time, with a classical clock where you see the flag going and you're nervous whether you have 2-3 seconds or half a minute. You're not sure about that. Of course, no bonus time. So 5 minutes was the time control I was playing all the time. And bullet chess, I think I played really very little, because also the clock, those manual clocks, these garden chess clocks, you could set up more or less it's a minute, right? But those times I really played very few. So 5 minutes was very normal, and it was a lot of fun, I must say. But I don't know, it's kind of strange, I think, for old-timers like me and Kramnik and those Anand. I mean, for us, it's very strange that you make your preparation and work on your intuition in a bullet blitz.
Right.
But they started.
Yeah, they started with this Italian opening and this line with 8-6 that they're playing these days. The idea is to go d6 followed by g5, but not if white goes a4.
As we've seen yesterday.
Exactly. Now g6. And I think Esipenko or somebody played with knight c3, right? After a6, knight c3. I think this is what we saw yesterday in a game.
I think so.
We were talking.
Sadwani was playing it, I think.
Right. Sadwani, and then we were seeing this position with a knight on h5 and then a rook on e8, right?
And somehow it was bishop e3 and d4, but now bishop e6.
Yeah, now he
Instead
changed.
Of maybe it was bishop d7 here, or after knight h5 d4, I'm not sure.
Yeah, also, I think knight h5 d4, pawn takes, and then rook e8. He took on e6, so black gets double pawns, but at the same time the f-file gets opened. And now d4 has been played, striking in the center already. So I guess you had to take, right, Judit? Or otherwise, d takes c5 could ruin out your pawn structure, but maybe it's not that bad.
I think maybe a question could be whether can black go knight d7 to hold on the e5, but okay, e takes d4 was played.
Right. And now, well, e6 pawn is under attack, so you have to do something about that. Maybe to take on d4, maybe to play queen d7. Yeah.
And knight h5 always comes eventually, because the f4 is a good square spot for the knight.
And also the g5 square for the queen can be used as well. So he took on g7, king takes, and looks around equal this position.
It looks pretty okay for black, I believe. Now the question is whether is he going to play queen f6 or e5?
E5.
5.
Queen e3. But they're playing extremely fast. Maybe Salwan is still, maybe both of them still in prep.
I don't think so. I think they just both have great self-confidence. And they have a feeling for the game. Queen d7 I would play, not allow g3.
Prophylaxis versus g3 because h3 is under attack. So, and then maybe you can start attacking on the king side, maybe doubling rooks on the f file, pushing your pawns. But no, queen g5 has been played.
Provoking g3.
G3 and knight e6.
Oh,
and then
h takes g5. Look at that. He
That
wants
was
to
surprising.
quickly knight d4, rook h8.
Maybe
I
you
think
can double
black
rook
should
as well.
Black
on
should be
F.
very fine.
Right? King g2 and knight d4. Okay, now pressure against c7. So maybe rook f7 or c6. C6, knight c7, right? Ah, no, okay. e6 is under control, so.
But c6 is very tempting to play, I think. Is it pushing back the white knight to e3?
I guess because you got to protect the c2 pawn.
No, black wants to keep the pawn on c7 for the moment and wants to double on the f file.
Knight e3 anyway.
The g4 spot can be quite convenient for white to release the rook from f1.
So you mean knight to g4, right? At some
Not
point,
yet,
and then you
because
can.
the c2 is still hanging, right?
Right.
But black has a very healthy, active position with the double rook on the f, knight on d4. I wouldn't be worried with black.
Maybe it's not easy to play c3 here, right? Because after knight b3, you have to keep the rook on the a file, and that looks.
No, that would be a blunder actually, because knight d2, and then the f2 would be hanging.
Right,
So
right.
that was not possible for white. b4.
b4.
What about knight f3? White would have to go rook d1.
Rook d1 to cover the d2 square, otherwise knight d2 is coming, followed by rook f2. But now I think white can play c3 in the next move, because after knight b3, of course, you can now cover the d2 square.
King f6, bringing the king to e6, centralize it. Interesting. I would definitely go c3 in this position with white.
That's right. Now c3 has been played. So knight b5 attacking the c3 pawn. You either push or protect it.
You're not going to be pushing it yet, I think, because you don't want to see the knight on d4 being stabilized in the center. So for the moment, rook c1, king e6, knight g4 might be a move, but then rook f3 could be forcing and pushing, attacking the c3 pawn.
It's very tough to cover the d4 squared with a white knight, right? So I want to go c4 at some point, but then I need to have covered the d4 square, and this is not going to be easy.
I'm curious how white wants to improve the position.
So can we go knight g4, rook h1, and h4, something like that? But then
I was sure he was going to play f3 and rook f2, but still I don't know how he wants to improve his position. Even by black playing c6 at some point, I don't see anything wrong with that.
f3 and
maybe just king d7, making...
And just wait, right?
Just sit and wait. Because the g5 pawn cannot be attacked, which is very important. c6.
And knight g4 has been played. Where is he going with the knight, Judith? To h2? In order to free the rook? That looks very strange.
So. That's not a good spot for your knight. No, knight on g4 is kind of a great place for the knight, but it will be very difficult for white to improve the position.
Now that you have...
Yes. It was very useful if with the rook you could go to the third rank, either with the c or the f rook, but neither of the rooks can have the time to regroup it to the third rank.
So maybe c4 and after knight d4, rook c3. My idea was to go on c5 at some point, now that you have played c6.
I think that will be the move eventually. Knight h2, your idea. So after all, he wants to free his rook to rook d1, rook d3, and then go back knight g4 and double the rook on the d file.
Yeah, you can also go knight f1 later, knight d2, knight b3, and c4. Maybe that's too slow, but
maybe. Rook e1, rook e3 is the plan.
Also
I
some
would
kind
go
of
rook d1 though.
Rook d1.
Yeah, somehow on the d file I would be more happy to have the rook.
Maybe this is some sort of prophylaxis against d5 from black.
But look at that, he wants to go c5.
Wow. c5, interesting. I think you go c5, then the d5 square could suffer. Maybe knight e3 and then knight d5.
Yeah, but maybe he will go back to f8, rook e3. No, c5. He can't stop himself or his hand to move that. This is very difficult actually in these positions. That how long should you be waiting, or is it the optimal position already to break out with c5?
Right. I like actually doubling rook on the c file at some point, even after taking on b4, then rook f2, c7, and then you gain control on the c file.
Well, depending on White's reaction, I think rook fc7 could be actually the next move. Unless White is going knight e3 right now, then rook c7 wouldn't be so good, maybe because of knight d5 tempo.
Right. But what happens if
is possible.
Yeah, but even after knight e3, what happens if I take first on b4 and then play rook fc7?
Yes, I think it's a good idea. Because if black takes over the c file, it can also be good for black.
Yeah, it could even be better for black this position.
And now look at that. Black has a huge time advantage. Well, in blitz, 1 minute is a big advantage. Takes.
And he went for that line.
It's also possible to go takes knight d4 and attacking the f3. That could be also an option. But he went rook c7 instead.
And now, if you take on c7, then the rook is coming to c3.
But you have to take. You have no choice.
Right. And he did it. Rook c7, rook c7. Now I will take definitely black in this position. h4. Well, he wants to bring the king to the third rank after some check on c2, but
I'm not happy with white, I must say.
Now it looks very good for black.
Rook c2.
King g3. And somehow all white's pawn are protected.
Well, of course, the knight on d5 is excellently placed. And if rook b2, then what then? What about rook b2? You cannot go rook c1, which is very important to knight e2. So actually, the white king is in the way also. Somehow
maybe rook e3.
King... Where?
Rook e3? Can I go rook e3?
You can go rook e3. But it's not white who is playing for a win right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think black is putting pressure. Not easy to bring the rook to c1 or c3 or g1. There is always this fork on e2, which is very uncomfortable.
Exactly.
And
I mean, after rook e3, knight c6, and the b4 pawn is falling off immediately.
Right. So maybe knight c6 is the threat, as you said. And how do we stop that?
Well, white has to look for counter chances in principle. So rook h1 could be a sensible move, I think. So after knight c6, h5.
Then, but maybe I can even take and then play knight b4, right?
And then I start giving check, rook h6, rook h7. But okay, knight check. I think it's kind of a panic move, don't you think so? King f7?
I think so. King f7, and then probably you have to go back.
But then knight c6, and the king on f7 might be even standing better than on e6.
That's right. Maybe I can go something like rook c1 in order to play rook c7 check and then rook b7 if you capture the pawn.
And after king e6, rook c4, trying to protect yourself?
Yeah, maybe.
You're making an artwork here.
Once again, this is the only thing I can do.
But black is tricky. He wants to go all the way to h6 and sometimes even thinking to play king h5, which can be tricky if the knight moves away from d5, but he goes f4.
So white is tired of waiting. f4.
But he's playing for simplification to a draw position, which is not obvious that he will reach, because knight e2 check, for example, king f3. Well, maybe if he wants to be forcing, he goes king f3, knight f4, takes, probably rook d1. White wants to get rid of the pawns, but he's not doing that. He goes knight c6. So I think rook c1, your idea will be the one that white should be doing. Maybe after
took first. And now rook d1.
Rook c1 is on the board.
Rook c1, maybe king h6 here.
Rook e2 is also possible.
Rook e2, king f3 is not possible because of knight d4 check.
So after rook e2, knight c3, but then knight d4. So I think that could be an interesting idea.
Wow, knight d4, and then there is
but
a
your king
fork
h6 is on the board.
Yes, now black is threatening just to capture this pawn on b4. Rook c4. And g5.
Yeah, but I don't think that black will do
win this, yeah?
special. Well, I would be surprised, let's put it that way. I would go king g4 now.
Rook c5 has been played.
Very strange move.
White goes after the e5 pawn.
But what about takes on h4 and rook e2?
That looks good. I think you're forced to go back to c4.
And then knight d4.
Then knight d4. Knight c3 there.
Well,
tricky.
That's a serious spin. Rook c2. And we see rook e2. 5 seconds for white. Look at that.
Wow, 7 seconds
is suffering
only.
About his time. 7 seconds now.
After king g6, Judit.
Pawn is dropping off. Pawn is dropping off. 1, 2. And maybe
then after
3 at the end.
Actually, after rook e4, king f5 is a big threat, and also the pawn on b4 is attacked.
Now white is in huge danger. The favorite, Sadvani, is in huge danger. And he's blundering now. He's blundering king f5. Well, right now, it's not the winning move, but a takes b5.
Yeah.
Or knight d4. No, knight d4 could be also interesting. Wow.
But now you can even take. Oh, there is mate.
F5. King f5.
King f5. Pawn takes, rook g4, and then you go back or something.
Wow, what a saving idea Sadvani played.
Can I go knight b8? Can I go knight b8, Judith?
Knight b8, rook c8.
And then rook g7 takes, and then king e4?
Well, you have to be sharp.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Rook g7 maybe easier.
Rook g7 is a better way, simplification.
And he resigned.
Wow.
Yeah. He resigned after rook c6, rook b7. The pawns are rolling.
Nice victory by Sadvani. He took his chances. And,
Pranav is the one who won. Yeah.
Sorry, Pranav won. Sorry, but Sadvani suffered from the middle game actually.
Yep.
I think he understood that it's him who has to be careful, but he was not careful enough. He wanted to be too active. That's how he wanted to solve his problems. Because here definitely he was playing for a win. That's not a question. But then he was forcing matters. And I like this idea by Pranav very much, playing c5.
Yeah, I think from this point it was very tough to play for white, right? I mean, black is actually winning the c file.
I think this rook c8, c5 is a very nice idea.
Right. Rook c7. Pawn takes, and black was winning actually control over the c file and eventually won this game. So now Pranav with the white pieces in the second game, he should be extremely happy.
Yeah, it was interesting how Pranav turned the game into a victory. I think simply he was more focused, I must say. He was better concentrated.
Remember that Sadvani yesterday called him a tricky player, right? And he's a good fighter, Pranav. I've been following.
I think he did some great moves. It was also interesting. I like the idea, which was quite unexpected, kind of to go from e6. It was nice that he brought his king from g7 to e6 before, and then he went back from e6 to h6 later on, right? So he was very flexible. And I think in this game, Pranav showed very much how much he's following the changes of the course of the game. Because he goes, maybe not all of them was fully perfect, but this is something I think is very important when you play a game, that you're always adjusting your thinking and your plans according to the things what's happening from your opponent, right?
Right.
And playing rook c8 and c5 was possible because actually the knight is on h2. Look how far the white knight got, right?
Right. I understand Satwani. You know, he wanted to free the rook, and actually it was a good plan. I mean, if black plays very solid and doesn't do anything, this was a very nice idea. You play rook d1, rook d3, knight f1, knight d2, knight b3. But
yes,
then,
but my question is, why didn't he play rook d1? Why did he go rook e1?
Right, right.
To start with.
Does it change the course of the game so much? For example, in this position, you go rook d1, rook c8? Or not? Because c5 is coming anyway.
Yeah, it was a very nice idea. But I think you can go, but you know, you can go c4.
Exactly. And then c5 maybe.
And maybe, well, c5 is one idea, but also another idea maybe to go rook b1.
Prophylaxis.
Thinking of c5, b5. I'm not sure it works, but I would consider it.
Right. So this is the key moment. Even after rook e1, rook c8, you can also play c4 and then try the same idea, right? Rook b1.
Well, maybe it's not good. I don't know. c5, b5, takes, black goes c4. Look how powerful the knight is and the pass pawns. So the knight on h2, I really don't like.
Yeah, the pawn is arriving to c2, and then you can activate the other rook along the c file as well. So, yeah, this is too elegant, this knight h2, to be real, right? To be good.
Besides that, actually, rook h8 can be very powerful here because the knight cannot move away from h2, and rook h7 is a threat.
Suddenly, you are playing in the whole board against f3, against h3, and also with this pass pawn on.
I think the misunderstanding was in this game from Sadhwani, that he thought that it's him who is going to be torturing and playing the cat and mouse game. And suddenly after rook c8, c5, things were not so simple anymore at all.
But he was very creative, because I would never think about this c5 idea. I will always consider going something like d5 or just wait till my opponent does something. But this rook c8 followed by c5 is very good. I believe
we have the next game started already.
Right.
Berlin.
Exactly.
Let's go for that. Because Sadhwani wants to equalize in game 2.
Right. Berlin, anti-Berlin with d3 and bishop c5. Yesterday we saw this line with knight d4.
And it's repeating itself.
Exactly. d4, c3, the bishop goes back. And we saw yesterday some games where white was playing bishop g5 at some point. And yesterday we saw bishop a4 straight away instead of knight a3. So now we have already a different game than yesterday. d6.
So let's see how Pranav is playing this system.
Provocation once again with this g5. Wow. Rook g8. Now black wants to attack like crazy. Maybe h5 in the next move.
He could have done it immediately, but is it a prophylactical move, rook g8?
Yes. If you want to go h5, you're right. You can do it straight away.
But maybe he wants to wait. What is white's next move?
Remember, guys, that one of the ideas in these positions is to play bishop g4, knight h5, and queen f6. We saw that yesterday. But also h5 looks very tempting.
Well, now Pranav is thinking how
I guess knight c4 should be natural here. Bishop c7 and then something like knight e3.
I'm not sure black would be moving away his bishop. And knight c4 is on the board. Bishop c7 is played, right?
And bishop c2. b5 was a threat with a fork there. So white retreats the bishop, sorry. And now the question, Judith, should we go h5 now? Because now bishop g4 maybe doesn't make so much sense since white can go f3.
h5 is on the board.
Wants to trap the bishop, so not so many options. f3, h3, or h4.
Well, I would go h4. That's what I would think at first. Because I would be afraid if h3, then h4 and g4 comes extremely fast.
Right. So after he goes f3.
Okay, this makes more sense. Definitely much better than h3, I think. But still, h4, knight h5. No.
Bishop e6. Prioritizing the development of pieces. Knight e3. And now h4 or queen d7.
Queen d7 is possible.
So black is probably going to go long castle at some point, but then white could also start moving the pawns on the queen side. Bishop b6 back.
Forcing d4? Or not yet? Bishop
d4.
d4.
I like d4 here. White should do something.
Yeah, I didn't think that it's good for black to provoke d4. Because white wants to play that anyway.
Exactly.
But let's see. Black becomes aggressive by playing knight h5 to f4.
Knight h5. Once the knight is on h4, you gotta be careful. There are some tricks. But as you say, white also plays, yeah?
One at a time. But let's see if white can do something with the f5 square. Because if white cannot make advantage of that, then it can be very dangerous for white. At some point, knight f4, even f5, it can be a huge attack. From my times of the King's Indian, I know what it is to push pawns on the king's side.
Right. So how do we control the f5 square? I mean, bishop a4. I like this move a lot.
To exchange the white square bishop.
Right, the piece that controls the f5 square.
It is very sensible, but at the same time, I would put my knight on f4, which is extremely well placed after that.
And, well, maybe the idea is just to play something like queen c2, controlling the f5 square.
But you shouldn't forget that even bishop takes e3 and the d5 pawn can be taken.
That's right. After knight f4, the d5 pawn is in trouble if I just move the queen away. So I like black's position, as you're saying.
You like black's position?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I can make use of the f5 square. Knight f4.
Yeah, very logical reaction, I must say.
Can I go knight f5?
After knight f5, I think black would go rook g6.
Protecting the
but
d6
you know what
pawn.
is also possible? After knight f5, king f8 was possible.
And after knight
And now
d6,
knight
bishop
g4,
a4.
But these are just tricks, isn't it?
There is a fork on f6.
Rook g6. I mean, I'm not going to blunder knight f6.
Right.
And he will not blunder knight f6. So the only question is whether to go queen e7, king e7, rook g6.
I like rook g6. And I mean, it's too much to go after the pawn on b6, right? I'm going to be checkmated here.
Black has a very nice position. So it can be the case that he's equalizing the match after this game.
Yeah, f5, g4 are coming, Judith. I will be extremely scared there.
Long castle, another rook is coming into play.
Knight a3. Okay, maybe he wants to play h3 after f5.
After f5, I believe he would like to go queen c2, rook f6, and then I have no idea what he wants.
But somehow he has stopped the pawn match now. It's not that easy to proceed. Well, maybe g4 is a threat now. Could be. So
That's a long
h3.
castle and bring the rook first, I believe. So that's why c4, maybe, but black can stop it with maybe c4, b4, somehow to look for counter chances. Otherwise, white is in trouble, I think.
Yeah, I think I have some decent chances here with the white pieces. So I thought it was much worse, but now after something like h3, I don't see how you made me with the black
I
pieces.
will be going king f7 with black later on in a good moment to... Ooh, white is very aggressive suddenly, but I think he has to look for counter chance. a4.
a4, a5, that's right.
Takes, rook b1, rook b5. Look for counter chances. There is nothing better white can do.
And can we go g4, Judith? Now it is too much with this king on the center.
Well, the question is after g4, I think what happens if white captures and then queen e4 or something like that?
Right. Queen is perfectly placed in the center. And this king is still in danger on e8. So it's not going to be easy to decide what to do with this king, because now you cannot go long castle anymore. And in the center is going to be unstable for sure.
No, black has to look for a good spot for the king. How to secure his king is very tricky because, of course, black has to look for opening up the position in some way or another.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but I start liking white's position. I don't know why, because you have all these pawns here, but somehow...
Well, I think right now it's easier to play it with white because there is nothing else you can do but start pushing your pawns, start opening up the lines, and then you just have to look for counter chance. And now for black, it's not so easy to put exactly the best moves.
Right. So a5 next, open the file, bring the rook, attack the weakness. King f7 is being played.
Well, now question is whether should white go a5 and then b5 is possible.
And c5 you can take, and then the d5 pawn is in the air. Rook f1.
Rook f1. What was
so I like this move. I think you can
go g3, g4, maybe g4. What do you think about g4?
Wow, g4 is great. I mean, it's very interesting.
I like g4 if h takes g3 is not winning.
Right. So now a5.
Takes rook b1.
b1 and rook b6.
That's clear cut, rook b1.
Oh, I didn't see this coming.
This is why I didn't like rook f1, you see.
Oof.
This you don't like.
So I guess you gotta go queen f2 in this position. Is it possible? But then knight d3.
The thing is that he has to go because rook b3, knight d5, there was a double pin.
Right.
But now knight d3.
Knight d3, queen d2.
Knight d3 looks very bad. And then even knight c5.
Just play positionally.
Yeah.
Controlling b7.
Consider it.
But then maybe, okay, after knight d3, queen d2, knight c5, I'll just go king h1. I don't know.
Oh, what is that?
Queen d2, and now knight c5 probably. Because f4, I think.
Knight b4 also makes sense, actually.
Blocking the file. But somehow, if I just manage to go king h1 and then your idea of g4...
I'm not sure h3 was the best move, but after all, we are seeing and witnessing a blitz game where Sadhvani goes under a minute, while Pranav has more than 2 minutes still. But his position is kind of tricky, but he has, I think, now ideas and opportunities with white, because the black knight on b4 stands well, but it's far away from the king, so it's not going to give checkmate from there. And now white has g4 options. White has also opportunity to jump knight c2 or something, attacking the g5 pawn. So it's getting kind of tricky for black.
I understand the knight on b4 because if you bring the knight to c5, there were some queen c2 ideas as well, putting pressure against f5. And this is not possible with the knight on b4. Rook e8.
Yeah, but from c5, it would be possible to play sometimes g4 and knight e4 back. But now there is no way back for the knight. Queen d4, okay, I understand, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't go g4 now with white.
G4. Now you have some penetration squares there on h7. You gotta be careful. Rook b7, also an idea all the time.
Also, rook fd1 is just a nice move, I think. I mean, where the black king is, queen is rushing.
Queen is going back.
What was this Queen D4 about?
Right, probably he didn't see Rook D1 after Queen E3. Just Rook D3 was kicking the Queen back again, and he goes back. He's happy with the draw, maybe.
Well, maybe, yeah, he's testing his opponent. It happens.
Right.
And it's not a bad decision. He has double the time. Sadvani goes down to 30 seconds, 35. Queen D2, for example, makes a lot of sense, I think.
D2, putting pressure against G5.
Exactly. Also, time to time, Rook B5 can be an opportunity for him.
The pawn on A5 suddenly is very weak.
Queen D2 is played.
And now
I mean,
what
White got a much better position since, let's say, 10 moves ago.
It's, of course, always tricky with this king on H1, the pawn on H3.
We shouldn't forget about the G4 option for White. It's definitely something to consider in this position as well. Rook B5.
He's greedy. He goes after the pawn.
E4. E4 was obvious that it's a must move for Black. He has to open up. Look at the White's king structure. It's weak. There are a lot of tactics can happen. Rook A5, Queen E7, and suddenly White's rook is completely out of the defense, out of the attack. It's just as if it wouldn't exist.
Queen C7.
Why not E7?
That was very, very annoying. Rook E2, Queen E4 coming. So now maybe C5.
And Rook A8. Quickly Rook A8 and go for the 8th rank.
Wow, Rook G8 is a threat. Careful. Now only 30 seconds for each player. Queen F7 covering G8 makes a lot of sense. Can I push Rook D4?
No, D6, Queen B7. Look what's going to happen on the long diagonal. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. Rook D4 next. Rook D4 is very tough and the D5 is falling off.
Yes.
A2 maybe only move, but it doesn't look good for White. It doesn't look good. I would go Queen E7 in this position, but okay.
Rook Queen B7 is a threat, so King G1, the king tries to escape from that diagonal.
What about Rook to F to D6? Queen E6 looks also quite promising, I must say. Try to look into the 3rd rank, and it's played.
There we go, and now the rook on C8 is under attack. Well, it's not the end of the world because this rook is also hanging. So
well, it's not the end of the world, but surely it's going to be end of the game.
Yeah. Rook D2 was coming after King H1.
Well, 19 seconds, 20 seconds against 20. Well,
Okay,
Black has to be sharp. Rook A6. Go Rook A6. Try to attack.
But then I start checking.
Okay. Doesn't matter. Black is, I think, should be winning with the double rooks going to be pushing. I would have gone Rook A6, but I think Rook C2 now, looking for Rook
A2. Wants to push. Attack the C pawn. There we go.
Well, Rook C5, Rook C3, and then Black King comes.
Only 9 seconds for Satwani. So he better hurry. C3.
He wants to equalize the match.
He wants
to equalize the match, and C3 I did not like at all from Black's. What is this? My God.
I don't know, but now what happens if I take this pawn on C3?
Well,
then
tricky because Rook A4, he wants to exchange, and then the H2 pawn can be really vulnerable in this.
If I take and then I put the rook on the 2nd rank, is it that simple?
Still, it's tricky, I think, because it's going to be a tricky endgame. But now, Rook C3, Rook A5.
I think he has to take at some point this pawn on C3. Yeah, he did it. Takes and Rook C2.
Rook H1. F4
H1.
is also. Maybe F4 now?
He didn't do it. And now maybe you can do this Rook G1, Rook G2. But of course, the king arrives to F2. So not that easy. Now check, check.
Check. He has to go
hundreds.
Back,
hundreds of checks.
He'll have to go back. Rook F1 maybe. Well, this is a very crucial game because if Pranav escapes in this game and keeps his lead, it can be decisive.
Of course. He's defending pretty well.
Now he will bring his king.
Rook A2, he's waiting for the king to come to start checking like crazy once again.
No, he will do another 15 moves with his rook before he starts moving his king. And this is what you have to do to exhaust your opponent.
Exactly.
And hoping that you're not exhausting yourself more than your opponent. But now he's tricky because he wants to go to D3.
Right.
And then make some mating net for the white king. King D3.
Can I go rook F4 there? Exactly. And after check, just king G1?
Yeah, but check on C1, rook H1, taking on H2. Something is not going to be right. He can go rook C5 back, and it's a Zugzwang, isn't it?
And looks like it's Zugzwang. That's right. But he went
for
rook H1.
Rook H1, rook F5, only move.
And now the rook is coming to G2, and then
rook G4 was possible.
Oh, and that was stalemate.
No, because check on H2 and then takes on G4.
Okay.
No, we can go back later to check that because that was almost.
Now he keeps checking.
Okay, rook A3. How will black win this?
We cannot push. Whenever the rook goes, king G1.
No, but now check. So where does the black?
Well, rook E3, for example. Exactly. So now you want to play rook E4 in case you go to the 4th rank.
Well, black has to go rook to B2 or C2. White can go king G1. Goes to H1. Go to H1.
C4. Now the king is cut. So king E4 probably. And looks like rook D4, rook D3, king F3.
It's still tricky, yeah? Actually,
yes.
It's still tricky because rook D3. 1-0. Ah, no, sorry. Yeah, there is a lead. I look at my other screen.
So rook A8. He once again wants to.
What is this about?
I don't know. King H2 check.
Okay, winning few seconds. So what about king F3?
King F3 check, I guess, and then king F2. And it's done, right? Well, king H2 still.
King F2, king H2. Rook E2.
Rook E2, and then I just pass.
Rook E3.
Rook E3 check, and
king F3. That's lost.
King F3, that's right. Now rook E3.
No, he has to go rook B8.
Interesting. So after king F3, rook F4.
Rook B4 is a good one.
Can I take?
Rook F4. Rook F4.
Can I take? I take the pawn. No way. No way. He just blundered the pawn. No way. Rook H4 and that's it. Rook H3.
He's even losing.
He's even losing. No way. The king is cut. But there should be a draw, yeah, or not? No, G4, king G3. No. He's losing. No way. G4, king G3.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm laughing now on this, but it's so. It's like either you cry in this situation. I mean, definitely, I don't want to make fun of black. Oh my God.
Chess is so painful.
Oh.
No way.
No, but you know what he should have done? He should have gone after rook G4, king F3, and rook H2.
Exactly. Here, rook H2 and king G4, and this is a draw, of course.
It's a fantastic example how much you have to be alert. Even if you make a huge mistake, don't go all the way to the bottom of the problems. It just still save it, right? Oh, this was very painful.
He completely collapsed. Wow. So now this is 2-0 for Pranav.
Oh.
He's such a great fighter, yeah? He tries till the end. He was
the
completely
underdog
lost.
of the events are the winners so far.
Yeah, and he only needs a draw.
Oh.
To win this
Can we
final
go back
four.
a little bit in this game?
Sure.
Because there was a situation where, okay, so this was, oh my God. So it's a draw, yeah?
Well, here, rook g4. Amazing. Yeah, the engine is saying it's a draw. I just turned the engine on and then.
Yeah, I think it should be a draw, but before the 3 against 2, I thought it could be.
Here, this is winning. Rook e2.
And game is
yes. Rook e2 is winning. Just rook e3 in the next move, yeah?
And
because if he tries rook a8, now king f3, because he tried
because
that,
rook was on d2, and that's
exactly.
a draw. Rook has to go on e2.
Crazy. Rook d2, rook a8, and this is already a draw. Incredible.
But why? But 1 second, why is that? So where did white go wrong? 1 second, go back for 3 moves. What has really happened? So king h2 is a mistake.
Right.
King h2 is a losing move because
of rook c2 and rook
check
e2.
and rook e2. So the thing is that we want to say, what do we want to say? But what happens if white does what? Rook a8 is the draw?
Rook a8 is a draw. Amazing. Because now...
Because if it's check, king h2, rook c2, king h1, and black has not enough time to have his rook on e2. And if after king f3, rook h3.
Right. And if you go rook e2, rook f8. Oof. No, rook endgames are so crazy, extremely complicated.
Well, actually, Sadvani would deserve to win more, I think.
Yes.
Well, of course, if somebody should win this game, it was definitely Sadvani.
No, and also in the first game, he was trying to put pressure, and suddenly this c5 idea, and of course this endgame is just crazy, how he lost.
Yeah, but you see, Pranav is a real fighter, and when he gets the chance, he gets a winning chance. He just wins it. Look at that.
And I think when he lost the 2 points, it's already losing, right? This endgame. Let's just go there and check. When he collapsed, yes, this is completely lost. You cut the king from the 4th rank, and then you just start pushing.
Wow.
Oof. And they started already the 3rd game, Judit, another
so
Italian.
It can be the final game, because if it's a draw or Pranav wins, he is already half-foot in Israel for the final against Praggnanandhaa.
Right. a3, and then they're repeating the line. Knight e2. Now he changes. Instead of d4, he plays knight e2. I guess you
probably. He wants to go for a long game, which is quite sensible.
Knight g3. Wow. Knight f4. Looks very decent for black. Okay, he wants to play c3 and d4, install a beautiful center.
Oh, queen f6.
Queen f6, yes.
Threatening knight h3.
Exactly. So queen d7.
He wants to double his rooks, it means.
f7, rook f8.
Or even triple. Rook f6, rook f8, and queen f7 possibly. But okay, knight h2, very sensible move.
And king h7, improving a little bit the king situation. h4. I never thought he was going to play like this.
I'm surprised on this move.
I thought he was going to play in the center, but d5. Now black is the one striking in the center first. h5, g5, closing the position.
Interesting, h5, h4, h5.
You have a nice square for the knight here on g4.
That one is knight is again on h2.
Right.
Will it turn out to be a better place this time?
Right. but at least there is no c5 idea against the knight on h2.
Well, there can be something else. But
For
knight
sure.
on g4 looks pretty promising in one hand. In the other hand, the h5 pawn can be vulnerable. It can fall
Right.
off easily after
Right.
queen.
Queen f7 or something. He goes d4. I was
d4.
thinking about this move because basically I think you are forced to take something. Otherwise, dc3 and queen d3 is coming. So he took.
Yeah, but things can speed up. I think even knight b4 might be a move.
Mhm. That's right. Knight b4. Pawn on d3
Okay.
is
He
hanging.
takes
He took-
d4 the simple way. Knight e5. Look at that.
Wow.
And look at this h2 knight again. Look at this h2 knight.
Right. It's
I
out
mean,
of the game.
Black is much better already. c5.
so, yeah.
Go for it. c5. Can't you do that?
c5.
c5,
Wow.
bishop c5.
And then
rook
b4.
c8.
b4, right?
Yeah.
So he decided to go for bishop f8.
Yeah, because draw is enough for him.
Makes sense. Look at those knights controlling everything.
But okay, I mean, I think Sadvani will remember. Don't put the knight on h2 if it will stuck there.
He will remember this square for the rest of the day for sure.
Well, it's not his day. I think simply
Can I go
bishop
now?
b4. Bishop b4 and c5.
Right?
Or
That's
you want to
very
go
nice.
c5 immediately.
Both options look very nice. c5, remember guys, now you cannot take because of rook c8 and there is no b4. Sorry for the arrows. And as Judit says, bishop takes on c5. You can never take the pawn on c5 because of knight d3 and then there is a fork against the rook and queen. He went went c5 straight away. Looks very bad for white, Judith. If you have to go back, something has gone wrong. You have these c4 ideas in mind as well. Some queen a4 could be
Pranav
coming.
is not as so much better in this match as the result is, I must say.
Right.
But in this position, it's like you feel like crying for white.
Exactly. Rook c8, he's not in a hurry. He's preparing c4. He's protecting the pawn on c5 as well. But mainly preparing these c4 ideas. And you don't want to take on g4, right? I mean, gf and then, or even rook f4.
And Pranav is only 16 years old.
Yeah, we're going to remember this name, Judith.
He's very calm, you know? This is what I have the feeling that he somehow has his inside tranquility somehow.
Right. It's not easy being only 15 years old or 16.
And look, Queen A4, he plays very well. Well, White played in a must-win situation not very well, but Black is taking his opportunity. I mean, look at how spoiling the position is. I mean, it's more
Right.
than a dream.
Exactly. Now knight d3 is even a threat because there is a pin. So he finally takes on f4, desperation measures.
Isn't C4 D3 wins material?
Yes, c4.
Ah,
What a
C4
fork.
takes, rook takes.
Rook takes even. Oof, winning the whole rook. This is game over, Judith.
No, but the game before, that rook end game, instead of winning to lose it, it was
That made him collapse.
it
for
was
sure.
impossible to pull himself together and to get ready. What happened? Rook C3, right?
Wow, giving the rook on c8, but now
Oh.
d2 and d3.
D3, bishop B4, D2.
Wow, so beautiful. And he saw it instantly. Amazing. Bishop b4 coming, and he resigned 3-0 for Pranav. Such an amazing
Wow,
performance.
what a happy smile on his face.
He's very happy. He knows he's coming to Tel Aviv to face
Wow,
Pragnananda.
he's very happy jumping up from his chair, but he knows he has to show up here with us, and we
Right.
have a few questions to him. Well, very impressive play by Pranav in crucial moments. He was really doing very well. He was extremely motivated, and somehow I think his mindset, his focus was better here today. In this 1 hour and a half.
Right, and he was playing extremely fast all the time. And the key, of course, was this second game. We're going to ask him anyway. But,
well, I think the first game was also extremely important because he took his lead, right? In a little verse or a little bit inconvenient position. He turned around and he said, no, I'm not going to be suffering and playing just the verse position.
Right.
So I'm going to be creating some opportunity for myself. So he created.
And that's not easy, but because when you're suffering pressure against a tougher opponent, somehow your mentality is just to wait, and try to hold. But he didn't. He went for it.
And we have Pranav, the winner, right here with us. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about the match? How and with what mindset did you come to play this match?
I don't know. I was just trying to play the game. I did not think much about the result because I think coming till this point itself was a great thing for me. So yeah, I was just trying to play the game and concentrate on the games. Yeah.
What kind of ideas you had that your opponent Sadwan is clearly higher in rating points? Did you care about that at all? Or you just came out here that it's a 50, it's a balanced match, and you will win?
No, I had the confidence I could win because yesterday also, I think, after yesterday's win only I got the confidence of winning.
Well, definitely it was a big victory for you against Sipenko. We wanted to ask you here, what were your feelings when the knight was regrouped from e3 to h2? Did you have a feeling that you can create some not only counter chances, but chances for yourself? Or what feelings did you have in this point of the game?
At this point, I thought I could break with c5 because his knight was bad on h2, but I was not sure like if I was better or something. I was just trying to play the most logical moves there, just trying to like occupy the open file after c5. And
that was a very nice resource because sometimes, when you're facing a tougher opponent with a higher rating, you just have the mentality to wait. But suddenly you play this move, rook c8, and probably he's in trouble already, right? Because you are occupying the c file.
Yeah, I think he's in trouble, but maybe he can defend this, but I think it's difficult after that.
But I think he played pretty well, like playing knight e3. You played this very nice continuation of your plan, controlling the c file. But he played h4, which was quite a good shot, I believe. Takes. And
this is a key moment, maybe. Yeah, this knight c7.
We were thinking about having h5, I think, as looking for counterplay.
Actually, if he waits itself, I did not see how I could make progress. Like if he just plays rook e3 or something, he can. If he just waits.
Yeah, knight c6 you have, right?
But I think, or maybe not rook e3. I think I missed something here, but I thought he could wait somehow. You know what I missed.
Yeah, maybe it's not that easy for him anymore, right? Because knight c6 is a simple and effective threat. It's just
so maybe rook h1 we considered, and if knight c6, h5.
I think rook h1, yeah. Maybe I could play rook b3, and if he plays rook f1, and then I can go knight c6.
But maybe he goes anyway h5, I think.
Okay, anyway h5.
No, not here. Instead of rook f1.
Here. h5 anyway. Counterplay.
Yeah, maybe he could have played this.
Okay, and what was the point in this game where you knew that you're going to be collecting the full point?
I think after I played g5, he was very low on time there. I knew that somehow I could like get something because his pawns were weak, and I think here I have some chances. Like b4 is weak, and yeah, after g5 itself, I thought I would win the game.
Yeah, this point is completely winning. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the point where it was clear to us too.
And well, then you went to this second game where he was putting good pressure, but then you managed to defend like a beast, right? You were fighting there like
I
crazy.
think I should have been losing at many times there. I mean, in the end game. But yeah, I mean, it was tough. We were low on time, and I was not sure how we could make progress there.
This is the key moment, I think. Yeah, when he can play rook e2, and I think it's completely lost for white instead of rook d2.
Yeah, I was trying to stop this, but I think I missed rook e2 here. I was just thinking the rook d2, I think, but rook a4 was there, so I was like, I missed rook e2 there. But in the end, also he had like easy draw there. I think even after like missing rook a4, just king f3, rook h2 was a draw like him.
Right.
I mean, after missing rook a4 itself, I think he was like a little bit upset there.
Right.
Maybe that was the reason he made that mistake.
And how about the third game?
The third game was, I think, very clean. I mean,
right. Once again, then I was on h2, right? So he's.
I tried to like exchange the bishops and keep the a6 pawn safe these games. Yeah.
Once your knight is on e5, the knight on h2 is doing nothing for the rest of the game, right? And then you can play.
C5 and
All right, so fantastic match, Pranav. I guess we're gonna meet in Tel Aviv, right?
Yeah,
that should be fun. We'll play some blitz games, but treat me properly, okay?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and hope you can make a great preparation against your countrymen. You're going to be playing against Pragnananda. It will be a great challenge for you, I think. And obviously, I'm very optimistic that we're going to see you on a higher level tournament in any case. So it was great to have you on this Challengers chess tour by Julius Baer. And well, good luck in the tournament you're just taking part.
Right.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, good luck, yeah? And congratulations.
Thank you.
See you in December. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Well, it was quite quick. It couldn't be a quicker final for today. And I always say that it's never so easy as it seems. And when you play badly, you never play so badly as people think you do. I think this is a match where it applies exactly again, because of course Pranav was sharper, more focused, took all his chances, whether it was a draw opportunity or already collecting the full point. But it was his day, we can say. Even though he was the underdog, he won in a very convincing way. But in the second game, it could have turned out differently. In only one move, Satvani could change the course of the match, I think. And we are going to see him as well in the future, because he's a very talented young man as well.
Exactly. So we had so much fun with this Final Four, but this is not the end, Judith, because we're going to meet once again in Tel Aviv, in Israel, for this match where Pragnananda will be facing Pranav. So much looking forward to it, Judith.
And we shouldn't forget that actually with this 1 hour of work, Pranav won $4,000. So it's not so bad for an hour of work, right?
Right.
For
it's well
a
paid.
Gentleman of 16 years old. We shouldn't forget that it's only possible due to the sponsorship. And so it was great fun for the players, I think. It was fun for me also to be commentating together with you. And I hope the audience we had for this short time had also a fun time.
That's right, guys. So we'll meet you once again in December for this super match between Prag and Pranav. So it's been a pleasure, of course, to be a fantastic pleasure to commentate with Judith. Hope to see you guys very soon. Have a nice day.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.